Hi everybody, welcome back to Greg's Grooves. As promised in an earlier video, I'm going to do a little bit of a deeper dive into my turntable setup. So if you saw my hi-fi overview video of my current hi-fi setup, I mentioned that this is a Technics SL1400. And you'll probably notice that that's very similar, number-wise, to the SL1200, because these turntables share most of the same parts, the only difference being that my turntable, the SL1400, is a semi-automatic turntable. It has an auto return feature, meaning that when the needle gets to the end of the record, your stylus, your cartridge, your tone arm, they get to the end of the record, they will return themselves back to the base, the motor will shut off, and you will save your stylus, your motor, you could fall asleep listening to your favorite tunes, and you don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, the functionality is much the same as the SL1200. You have an adjustable pitch, you have manual cueing of your tone arm, so when you want to start the album, you basically do it exactly as you would on an SL1200, or if you want to cue up a specific track. Full manual control, which I like because I do not trust auto start turntables. They go out of alignment, they go out of adjustment, and you're risking damaging your very expensive stylus. So these turntables were produced from 1975 to 1977. I believe this one is from 1976. It's been a while since I looked at the code and confirmed that. But yeah. To me, this is the era for turntables. I was lucky enough to pick this one up for $100. It has every feature that I'm looking for. The auto return, the direct drive motor, which I much prefer to belt drive, the pitch adjustability, the adjustable tone arm with removable head shell, everything I want from a turntable. Before this, I actually had a Rega, however you say it, Planer 6, and that's a very high-end turntable, RP6, and I didn't like it. Even though I spent gobs of money for it, I didn't find the speed stability to be great. I did not like that the tone arm, as good as the tone arm was, and it was great, did not have a detachable head shell. Also, Regas are kind of weird when it comes to cartridge alignment and the actual height of the cartridge. You have to be careful. Sometimes you need to add spacers to adjust. And yeah, it was a constant disappointment. You could audibly hear wow and flutter with, you know, like piano-based music, classical music. You don't hear that at all with this Technics SL1400. And the fact of the matter is that I got this for $100, and it was in perfect condition. It needed nothing. I just put a new cartridge on it because I wanted to. It came with a perfectly serviceable cartridge and stylus, and I lubed up some parts, and on my way I went. So speaking of the cartridge, I mentioned it briefly in my last video, but it is an Audio-Technica VM540ML. It's a microline stylus and a dual magnet cartridge, moving magnet obviously, not moving coil. And as I mentioned in my hi-fi overview video, I adore this cartridge. It has brought the absolute best out of my vinyl, even vinyl that is maybe in less than stellar condition. This cartridge just tracks like a dream. I mean, zero inner groove distortion to speak of. And I've had problems with inner groove distortion with high-end Ortophone cartridges like the 2M Black. I've just never found anything that I've been as satisfied with as this cartridge. And I've owned some expensive ones. I had a Denon DL110 high output moving coil cartridge, which is probably my second favorite cart that I've owned, but those high output moving coils are still tricky to match impedance and all those things. So honestly, I adore this cartridge. I'm so glad that I bought it already mounted on an Audio-Technica head shell. It required almost literally zero adjustment out of the box. It was basically plug and play, adjust the counterweight, check that everything was good. I put the protractor on there. Everything was pretty much perfect straight from the box. I could not be more pleased. If you are a vinyl enthusiast who maybe started out with like a Crosley or a Victrola or even like a Fluence or a Project, I gotta tell you, I think you would be much happier just going out there, checking your local Goodwill, thrift shop, checking eBay, and getting yourself a Technics direct drive turntable from the 70s or early 80s. You can't go wrong. They're built like tanks, they don't break, they sound great. I still haven't found anything that matches the speed stability of this thing. And if you know what model you're looking for, you can find just the right feature set for you. And this SL1400 is perfect for me. I love auto return, I hate auto start, so it's exactly what I've always been looking for. I do run it with this weight. I don't find that it has much of an impact on stability. I think it just helps me with some of my records that might be slightly warped or, you know, bold or concave. And yeah, I could wax poetic probably for another 20 minutes, but the video would get really long-winded at that point. So if you have a Technics turntable that you adore, please leave it in the comments. Or if you think I'm an imbecile for setting aside my Rega and Rega, whatever you call it, project, or not getting a Thorens or something like that, let me know in the comments too. Let's start a discourse. So anyway, that's it for this time on Greg's Grooves. If you want to see more of this type of content, deep dives into my equipment, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and let me know that you want to see more of this stuff. Until next time.